All right, what up, what up? I'm irritated about my hair, to be honest. Like, it's at this point where it's too long. And I don't want to be one trapped under the guise of having locks. I don't want my locks to trap me as an individual. I want to own my locks, not have my locks own me. And it's at this point in my life now where it's like almost on a daily basis where something's happening where I'm just getting irritated at the length of my hair. Now, most times I'm getting irritated at the fact that no matter which way I move my head when I'm sitting down, there's always a pull. Always a lock that's caught somewhere under my ass, my back, on my coat, a seatbelt, a door. There's just always a lock caught somewhere. And it's starting to get to me. Starting to get to me. So, I mean, what I can really say is I have been trimming my locks. I've been trimming them. And you guys know this already. You know that my plan is to trim them shorter as they get longer. Initially, I wanted to wait until the 10-year mark to do it. But, you know, things are changing quicker than I thought. So this video is a current update of how my locks are looking after some slight trimming here and there. And I'm gonna show you guys from the back right now what my current situation is looking like. So what do we notice the difference these days compared to like a month ago when I had my locks? You can see that there is a lot more dispersion along the back. You know, my locks aren't fully covering all my back anymore because you can see where I've been trimming some of these locks. And this is actually the first time I've looked at the back of my head since I've been trimming. And I'll be honest, it doesn't look as bad as I was picturing it to be looking. My ideal length right now is definitely around shoulder length, because this is the area that isn't gonna get caught behind my back when I'm driving or sitting at a computer chair or anything else that requires me sitting down. It's just annoying having my locks catch on chairs specifically. When I'm sleeping, it does happen too. I might wake up in a tangled mess. So I'm really enjoying having the dispersion within the locks across my back. It makes it easier to flip them around to the front when I'm sitting down because it's not as thick and fluffy around my neck like a scarf, like a winter scarf. Sometimes locks feel like a winter scarf around your neck when you have them wrapped around you like so. So now what I like about having my locks trimmed in this manner as well is even though I trimmed my long locks, they're still long after the trimming. And it's good to know that I have that much density and volume and length in these locks still. So there is lots of hair, lots of locks still involved on my head at this moment. Now I do think it will get to the point where I end up trimming all the locks to a specific length around my shoulders, but at this point I'm kind of just doing it on days where I feel a little bit frustrated with having the length. Because I don't want to do anything too drastically in one regretful moment. The crazy thing about my length is that they're now down to my ass, past my length, past my waist. And it's crazy because, you know, when I have to sit down and go to the bathroom, I gotta move my locks out of the way to make sure they don't dip in the toilet water. I gotta move them away when I get in the car door so they don't get caught all up in the door ajar. Man, it's wild. And when I'm sleeping, definitely if I don't wear a lock tube or a silk cap to bed, my locks get all caught up behind my back. when I'm rolling around. So there is some detriments to having long dreadlocks. Now this is typically the motion that I'll do when I am trying to sit down in my driving chair or my computer chair without having my locks get in the way. My goal is to allow them to fall forward in the lightest manner so that when I lean back on things, they don't get caught up. So the trimming has been beneficial in that manner, and it does feel good to have lighter locks on my head. Even though it's only minuscule, it is noticeable. It is noticeable. And what else is noticeable is that because I trimmed them shorter, obviously the volume has decreased, meaning my tams don't get filled up as much when I put my hair up into my favorite hats. So I have found a solution to this, and that is doubling up some of my tams, especially my extra large tam that was meant to be fulfilled with really long voluminous locks, but now I can wear it over another tam, and I'm gonna show you guys that video later. But yes, definitely have a wide selection of tams available for yourself, because some days you might want to have a big tam to stuff all your locks in. Some days you might want to have just a little tam to put some of your locks in and just keep your head kind of on the warmer side. Like, there's so many different styles. And if you know anybody that knits or crochets, definitely a useful resource and friend to ask if they can make you a tam specifically, opposed to buying them. They're kind of super expensive in the stores, I find. So try and get people to help you. So at this point of the video, I would like to talk about Congos. I've been trimming these Congos here up until the point where it's kind of become one big lock. Now, yeah, I don't know what to really say on it, but Congos are definitely an experience when growing locks, because it's cool to see like how thick your hair can actually form together on its own. And I have two Congos here, one on my right side, one on my left of my head, that are really long before I started to let them join up. So the Congoed part is actually only about 6 inches, meaning I don't want to trim these locks right down to the 6-inch mark, because this is kind of too short to have at the front of my head. So most likely I'm leaving these two locks at their full length up until the 10-year mark, unless something happens. But I see these two being the last two that I trim, and it's going to be good to see at that 10-year mark at least a couple original OG locks that had started from the beginning. And since these two are at the front of my head, they don't tend to get in the way when I am sitting on things. So these two are probably my two favorite Congos that I have currently at full length. And I think I want to talk about the oiling system on my hair as well now as well, because my locks do look a little bit dry. They feel a little bit dry these days, and I've probably been washing about once every 60 to 90 days, and you know, I could be doing a lot better at it, but to be honest, it is a pain to wash and handle really long locks when they're wet, which is another benefactor of trimming these a bit shorter, is that I will be able to maintain and wash them on a more consistent basis over this winter. Because, final note here, I do think that the thicker the locks, like this one at the back, a boom fatty like this, they are more susceptible of catching buildup inside the lock. And this is a big factor of me learning about locks, learning about thick locks in general over the past few years, and that is, yes, the thicker the Congo, the more of a chance you're gonna have buildup in there because of the sebum, dry skin, dandruff. Hopefully not mold or anything like that, but yes, things will build up. So, yeah, just do our best to detox and cleanse them, right? But what's crazy about this lock is exactly that. It is so fat. My fattest lock that I have to date, and it's definitely one heck of an experience. And that's about it. So anyways, if you made it this far in the video, I do appreciate your face and your locks for stopping by. And hopefully there was a little bit of insight somewhere along the line sprinkled in there that you picked up. So until next time, peace out, one love, stay happy and natty, smile to your brothers and sisters, and keep on dreading, my friends. I'll see you guys next time. Adios.